back straight.
Haven't seen it in a while.
It's been a minute.
It's ridiculous right now, and it's bugging me.
It's like a gasser.
It needs attention so bad.
You're freaking out, but I see potential.
Looks like we got Jeff Thomas struts on it right now.
This thing's got travel.
I know, it's weird.
It's them trick springs. It gets every bit of it.
I was just so worried that the paint job wasn't ever going to shine up again, but it just looked terrible.
Nah, that's good. Be all right.
It's got them old man 28-710 Morosos on the front, boy.
The Moroso front trick springs that we put in is really what makes it look like that. That's why it's up in the air.
Well, it has no.
Well, yeah,
It has a block, but
yeah, but
It don't even have long upper ball joints in it.
yeah, it's just stock upper and lowers.
we shoved those G-body front springs in there, and they're crammed in there, so it has a lot of stored energy in those springs.
Now that it has turbos, it'll sit pretty good in the front.
Yeah.
The dirt block and everything.
It'll sit fine.
I remember every time we jack it up, you'd have to put your whole body weight on it just to get it to sit back down.
Yeah, it'll sit pretty nice.
That and it's got so much shit in the bed, I think it's sitting low. But
It's got the Carolina squat.
it does. That's what's bugging me.
This looks like an MAK car right now, almost.
It does.
It's like Mountain Dew.
Well, let's get your truck moved out. I guess that's going to be first.
Got 3
More
cables.
work. More work.
Disregard first.
There are 5 pumps.
Turn to the left hard.
Whoa.
I don't know if it's going to go over the hump. I just line it up and push it in. It might.
Yeah, let me turn this wheel to the right a little bit.
Yeah, try to get it centered.
Alright, go ahead.
Is it going to go?
Yeah, just looked like it
It
went
might have rolled back a little bit.
Go back.
That works.
Yeah,
They both come
that'll
out?
do.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't going to hurt anything.
Shocked me a little bit.
I knew it was coming, but there was no stopping you. That's good. Look at this thing, it's a time capsule. Look at these old decals. Matt's old decal.
Wasn't that long ago you were grabbing some?
Hello. Fine.
Who else over there right now?
All of us. The rest of your family.
Like, how many people are
Meaning
there?
who?
Okay, the rest of your family plus Allison.
Oh, now I hear that.
She knows I'm here.
So I turned this turbo over today, and there's a bunch of pumpkin seeds in it.
What?
Yeah.
Pumpkin seeds.
Mice.
Oh.
There's probably a mouse in there.
Probably.
Well, good thing it's not the engine we're gonna use. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. All right. I was just checking on everybody. All right. I'll let you go.
Bye.
Bye.
We literally just dropped her off at our house, and I literally told her I'm taking the Malibu to Billy's shop. She knows. I don't know what that's all about.
Have I had a better box than you this whole time?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the box you have now, isn't it?
No, he's
No,
got
I got a better one now. This is like middle of the road. 6, 7, then 8. I got the
Second
8.
base.
Yeah, we're 7 here.
Tommy's truck always had the nicest of the nicest stuff.
And it got treated the worst of the worst.
No, it did not.
Dude, I don't know about that. My truck's been treated the worst.
The worst.
Yeah, that's true.
Tommy's does not yet have the Billy the Kid custom upper control arms. Yet.
That's your headlight wire.
Front bumper, turn signals.
Stock block. It's been fucked up.
Oh, really? What about those heads?
The heads are just bare. No valves or anything.
Oh, okay. Are they junk though?
No, I don't think so. They're just bare.
That's all old nitrous wiring and
Yeah. So this is probably water pump and then fan relay.
yeah. It's just a lot cleaner.
This one's going to the alternator.
I can remember all that stuff. That's no big deal. It's easy to figure out.
That's factory shit for
That's for the heater.
fucking heater box that can be taken out.
The heater box is gone, right? Yeah.
Thank God.
All that shit worked, right down to the vacuum.
Great, you can have it.
This purple wire.
I hope one of these days I can have an S10 so I can do it the way I wanted to do it.
One power going
I kind of do. I got a Malibu. I'll have you notice
When
how
he learns
nicely
EFI,
this thing was wired. There are no
Butt
100
connectors.
butt connectors, as I have been accused of from Jiffa.
we should
Well, I mean,
go-
look how nice everything was wired with heat shrink on everything.
I think it looks
We
lovely.
should go to Vanderhoof's class. He's doing classes.
I'll go.
He's in
Dude, I would
Carolinas.
love to learn that. It's just, we haven't been in a situation where I can learn it.
Okay,
Go to
so
Vanderhoof's class. We'll hit him up.
talk to
I'm
me,
in.
Goose.
It's like $300 though.
I'm in.
What are we gonna do about these fucking turbos? Because they can't be right here. We can either put them further up in the grill, or we can put them back there.
We talked about maybe moving them in to get them a little more space.
We have all this room here. There's
Well, he set them that way because originally we were going to put an intercooler up there.
between there.
But if you put this thing on methanol, it doesn't need the intercooler.
Okay,
and then the turbos can be moved closer together.
yeah.
And then it's easier to line the flanges up for the exhaust. Okay.
Right.
And then the other thing is if you put it on EFI, it can be driven on pump gas or E85 or whatever,
Right.
and you just switch the tune. And
Exactly. I think that's literally the best thing we can do. I don't think you can plumb them up where they're at right now. I don't think you can plumb it up.
Literally, all we have to do is cut this bar and re-angle it. Just
Yeah.
angle it like instead of going this way, just put it this way, and then clock the turbo, and then they'll be close together right here.
Yeah.
And once they're close together, you can clock them so that they go into a Y. Probably clock them both upward, like that. This one will be up like this. This one will be kind of down like this.
We're really gonna have to wait out there though.
Well, if you're going to do front side stuff on
That's where it
radials,
needs to be.
that's where it needs to be.
We can go hang out with Tony and Tess at these big grudge races. You know, I like the smell of prep. And it's cool to do all kinds of racing.
It just, well, here's the thing. It doesn't make sense to me why I would have two cars that do both. Like the Falcon can do both. It can do front side. It's decent at both, but I want to have a car that, this thing has its purpose by being really fast on the front side, that we don't have to cram 38 pounds of boost through the Falcon like every weekend trying to go super fast. When we have this that makes more power,
It should make more power, yeah.
it better.
It should make 1700. Falcon makes about 1350.
And the other thing is, if I have 2 race cars that I alternate, that's less wear and tear on one.
I would like for this thing to be streetable though. I mean, I'd like for you to be able to enjoy it. I
Oh,
mean,
of
it's your
course.
truck.
Of course.
But
No, I trust me, I get it, but like, I want to race it on alcohol, and if it's on EFI, then obviously the opportunity is there.
If it's on EFI, you can put pump gas in this mother.
Exactly.
You put 93 octane in it if you wanted, if we had a tune for it.
Yeah.
That's what Cletus does with the mullet. Like,
Yeah.
I'm in.
I think that's the best idea.
I'm 100%
I just don't
in.
understand.
I would like for you guys to help me learn it. I would like to learn it.
yeah, do that.
I see like E85 as a limitation for us, and then it's like I just don't want to mess around with that damn intercooler, and
It's weight too.
it's weight. Just
So done.
done.
At least we got an idea of what we want to do. So, be pretty simple, with no intercooler. We'll move the turbos into the grill more. That way we can have more room for the piping. Because if we move them
Clock
in,
them where it makes it
if we
easier.
move them in and get them a little bit lower, I think it'll make this approach a little easier, for sure. And we could even swoop them down.
Still gonna take about 15 million pie cuts, but
No, it ain't. Honestly, I could do it this way too, but it would just be a little more difficult.
we need to take advantage of this room we have if we don't do an intercooler. Like, just make it easier on ourselves.
The radiator's already underneath the back, isn't it? Isn't it
Yeah.
already back there?
Yeah, and I think there's a Davies Craig pump back there.
I think
already.
there is too. I think I remember seeing that.
It just needs the lines plumbed up to the front. So yeah, you'll have a. I don't know if there's a tank, like a filler tank back there yet though. We'll have to do that. But I think that's what this is in the bed here. It's got the cap on it and it's got a 16 on the bottom. That's probably the filler tank.
Alright guys, so real quick before we get in the next section of the video, this is my 3rd time filming this because I keep blabbering on too long. Hopefully I can keep it short this time. So I just want to go over some frequently asked questions on the truck and the whole situation. There's been a lot of gray area and some misconceptions I just want to go over. So about a year and a half ago, we sent this thing off to a buddy's shop to get the cage done, intercooler, or motor. This is one of those situations where the guy is kind of by himself. He has his own little shop, but he does really good work, and we wanted the truck to be done right. So we took it to our buddy to have it done. The reason that it took so long was because he was by himself, and for the first like 6 months, I don't think that it even got touched really. It sat for a pretty long time. He had a lot of other race cars and projects to work on before mine really got attention. And I mean, it is what it is. Not a big deal. We knew it was going to take a while. We just wanted it to be done right. We wanted it to look good, so that's why we took it there. But the last few months of it being there, it finally got some attention. It got the cage done, the radiator's mounted under the bed in the back, and the turbos are mounted, but they still need plumbed. So it's pretty unfinished, but we can 100% finish it ourselves, no problem. It's been so long now. Billy's been practicing welding, and for probably a year and a half now he's been welding, and he's gotten really good at it. And so I trust that he'll be able to finish plumbing the turbos and everything. And we have Rob here to help us. He's really good at fitment and that kind of thing. So it's going to be a challenge. The turbos are in a pretty weird spot. There's going to be a lot of pie cuts and stuff, but we will be able to finish it, I'm confident. So it's in 1,000 pieces, and it's kind of unfinished, but it is what it is. Shit happens. It's not a big deal at this point. We're gonna be able to finish it. So I want to talk about our goals and our what our plans are. The common question is, I have the Falcon, I have this truck. When the truck's done, what's going to happen? Are we going to sell the Falcon? Are we going to sell the truck? Who's going to drive what? Like, there's a lot of questions out there, and they're all good questions. But we never really talked about it, so I felt like we should talk about it. So the Falcon has been really good to us ever since we bought it. We pretty much raced it every weekend since we bought it. It's probably got 600 passes on that engine, and we've put probably 300 passes on it ourselves. So, it's time for some upgrades. We actually recently got a 6-liter, aluminum 6-liter for it, and we're gonna have Mike Lau put us together another engine. So we got a spare motor going together, and we gotta start putting this thing together. But so with the way that the Falcon is right now, it works really good on backsides and street races and some of the nasty no preps that are not quite as fast. It's way better weight bias than the trucks are, and it just works better by nature. So it's one of those cars that is really good at no prep and backsides, but it's also really competitive on a front side too, and that's really hard to do without making bar angle adjustments and making a bunch of changes, or you got to make a little more power. You might need to upgrade turbos like we were thinking about doing. And to me, that doesn't really make sense to make a bunch of changes every weekend, going from front side to back side to front side to back side. It doesn't really make sense to start changing bars and stuff when it works so well on no preps and backsides. I know people are going to argue, if you want to go faster, you got to make changes, but we're winning races with it. We're going out of town and winning races with it. We just won Slugfest with it, but it wasn't running right. We're having spark issues, load issues, whatever. But the car is winning races as it sits, and it's getting faster. We're learning every weekend what it likes. It's still a new setup. We've only been racing it for a season, and the more data we get, we figure out just how much it can take, and we're still learning every single pass. It gets faster. And without us making a bunch of changes. So, and if we wanted to make it go faster on front sides, we'd have to change some bar angles, and we'd have to upgrade the turbos, and that just means that when we go take it to a backside, we have to turn it down even more, and that just doesn't make sense to me. Originally, when we sent this truck off, the plan was to make it for street class stuff. So me and Billy didn't have to race in small tire, but clearly that doesn't really matter anymore. We're racing each other all the time. But it was going to be in the street class. It was going to be E85 intercooled, and it was going to be a driver for the most part. It was going to be able to do the cruise classes and that kind of thing. But it's been so long now, and times have changed. I feel like there's not that many local street classes anymore. None that I'm really interested in, and I don't really want to even think about intake air temperatures, or I don't really want to think about, oh man, I can't go over 20 pounds of boost for risking torsion head gasket. That's not something I really want to worry about. I would rather just put it straight on alcohol, make it really fast, and have 2 fast race cars that I can alternate in between. Build one for front sides and have the Falcon for the back sides. That's what makes the most sense in my mind. This thing isn't as good weight bias. The trucks are simply just not. They're not like a Mustang. They're not like a Fox body. They're heavy in the nose, and it's a leaf spring. It is what it is, and it just so happens that combination can work really well on the front side. We can use that weight up front to our advantage by keeping it down. If we're going to be hitting it so hard, we're going to get into trouble. We get into trouble with the Falcon when we're trying to 60 foot it just wants to wheelie. I don't think that's going to be as much of a problem when we have a really nose heavy car here and trying to hit it hard and get it basically to work like, it's going to work like a radial car in a way. It's going to separate really hard, and we're going to keep the nose tied down, and that's not going to be a problem, I don't think, with it being as with the turbos way out there in the front. And I'll show what we're going to do, but we're going to have the turbos way out there in the grill, and it's going to be nose heavy, but it's going to be okay because we're going to make it for front sides, and I think it'll work really well. There's no sense in putting 5 times the effort it takes into this thing to make it good on the backside. And with the motor that we're going to put together for it, it's going to make really good power. And we got a trick flow motor that's going to have, it's going to be 18-degree motor. So, and it'll be really nice if I have 2 cars, one's purpose built for front side, one's purpose built for the no prep stuff. I can alternate and I can give the Falcon a break. You know, we've been thrashing on it since we bought it, racing it every weekend. It would be nice to give it a break and we can get this thing out, and you know, we can kind of control the mileage a little bit. We're not putting so many miles on one car. We can kind of spread it out between 2 cars. And I think it'll make awesome content too. You know, people might get tired of watching the Falcon every weekend, you know. So I think people have been really excited to see us get this truck back out, and I've missed this truck dearly. You know, this truck was awesome before we sent it away. It was a really good running, it was a competitive small block nitrous car. I mean, but in that 1.5 years it was gone, it was like we kind of transitioned to a time where the 550s, 560s, even the 570s, you know, is not really competitive anymore like it used to be. We've transitioned into a time where every weekend you've got to be running almost 520s, 530s to be competitive. And that's really hard to do when you have a heavy car like this and you're a small block on a 350 shot. We couldn't spray it anymore. I mean, back when we were racing this thing, it was pretty much out of breath. We were spraying 350, we had a plate and a fogger, and we were starting to torch head gaskets. I mean, things were starting to come apart, and that's when we decided in order to go faster, we're going to need turbos. And I'm also excited to say that we are going to be doing fuel injection and Holley on this thing, which is a pretty big deal. For the longest time, the trucks were going to be copy and pasted, both going to be blow-through carb setups. But I think after getting the Falcon, we've learned what we're kind of missing out on. You know, both have their place. I'm not dissing the blow-through setup at all. I mean, Billy just won a 13-grander at KD this last weekend, no issue. So it's a setup that is proven, I mean, without a doubt. But I think in order to get us to the next step, to get us into the 490s, 480s with the trucks, I think it's time to transition to fuel injection and Holley. I think that's the route that Billy's truck is going to head towards at some point. But you know, the Falcon's been so good to us, and it's taught us so much, and it's gotten us to that next. It's gotten our whole program to that next step of competitiveness that we really needed, and it got us ahead of the times again. You know, we're kind of falling behind the times there for a little while. We were struggling. Everybody got really fast. There was no ducks anymore. But since buying the Falcon, it's put us ahead again, and we've learned a lot. And Billy's Nova's based around the Falcon. It's built a lot of the same ideas, a lot of the wiring and electronics and the inputs and outputs. A lot of it is based off the Falcon. I would say 90% of it is based off the Falcon. So, you know, they're set up a lot alike. And if it wasn't for us buying the Falcon, Billy's truck or Billy's Nova would probably be a blow-through setup because we wouldn't know what we're really getting into. So, you know, we don't really want to sell the Falcon. It's been so good to us. There's no reason. It's still winning us money every other weekend. Like, I'm making a living off that car. So, you know, we won No Prep Kings. We went to the locals only race. Of course, we can't show that until the show comes out, but you know, I think a lot of people heard about that. But we won 10 grand at that race, and that was what finally was able to put us in the budget of being able to get this thing finished and start the aluminum 6-liter build for the Falcon, the spare engine. So, you know, that money kind of disappeared fast, but it's going to be, you know, it was the last big step to get this thing finished, to get the Holley and all the harnesses, and we still got to get, I think Billy got injectors for me. So yeah, I think that explains most of everything. I'm really excited to get this thing back out. I don't know if we're going to get it back out this season. I don't know if we're going to have that kind of time on our hands, but it's finally in the big shop now. It's in the fabrication station, as we like to call it. So things are finally in the works. Cogs are turning, and I know a lot of people have missed this thing. I've missed it dearly. I really miss driving this thing around. And you know, while it lasted, it was a really fun nitrous truck, I will say. But I won't miss filling bottles, and I won't miss heating bottles with a torch, that's for sure. But yeah, so that's all of our plans. I think I covered everything. We'll go ahead and get into the part of the video where you know, we haven't filmed anything with the Dart in a while. So last night we did a little bit of work. So we'll go ahead and show that. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. So thank you guys.
Pick up the phone and
Why are you complicating things? Just let me finish.
There's a distraction going on.
You on regular?
Yeah.
These aren't cross-threaded, they're kind of...
No, they're really tight. Remember, he had to cut them.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you guys think? I got a new toolbox. Should I let Allison organize it?
They don't know how good I am at organizing.
Are you?
I am.
Are you?
Yes.
Jeff, should I let Allison organize my toolbox?
I have committed your toolbox to memory, so I was going to organize it similar.
What? I was talking about. I can't hear you, man. What are you
Doesn't want to be a part of that conversation. I mean, these are some nice wheels. These come off, right? Without a rigmarole. Definitely takes
might have to-
rigmarole in. What's the trick to these? How to get
Can you go jack up the car a little bit in the back?
Well, it's already jacked up.
I know it's... Oh, yeah, that... Well,
That's definitely the case. Haha, you get to do... You're gonna have all kinds of trouble whenever you go to switch slicks and stuff. I mean, probably nowhere near as bad as the Falcon.
okay, Falcon boy.
No, it's probably nowhere near as bad as the Falcon, but...
That looks miserable, though. I'm not making fun of you on that one.
I really have it down to a science, and I like to brag about it, because Billy was like, when he was doing it for me, he's like, oh, it's, you know, like, I don't know, he would never want to do it, and it took him like 30 minutes.
That was a good Billy impression.
I know, right? I can get it done in about 5 minutes. And on my last, maybe 2 live feeds ago, I did it live. Which I know you don't watch the lives.
Me?
No, I don't. They're boring. Why would anybody watch those? But I did do it as proof evidence. I need this. Well, no, we need to... all over the place.
What have you been up to, Dad?
Jeff, people miss you. They said there's not enough Jeff on the camera.
Well, yeah, I'm popular. I'm fun.
People want to know when you're starting your own channel.
Never.
Okay, if you had a channel, what would you name it?
I wouldn't.
They said.
You said I wanted.
It's a great name. I wouldn't.
Called the No Name YouTube
You can call
channel.
it Pro Tip. Pro Tip.
Tips.
Pro Tips
Pro Tips.
by Jeff.
Pro tips with Jeff. There's a lot of
A
wire.
lot of people have been asking me how the wiring is going, Dad.
Well, there's 8,000 things to do besides wiring. I've been making all kinds of stuff. Stuff that nobody ever sees. It has to be done. Still has to be made. Never ends. Well, eventually it'll end. Look, it's got nitrous under the hood.
I think we
What?
should that. Maybe.
Put it on yesterday.
Oh, well, then definitely not.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, he's wiring.
Whoa.
This thing's ready to. I see
wires are
you
on?
got a header gasket on.
I
you get
did.
both of them
I
on?
did that by only one because we're still messing with that side over there.
Oh yeah, I want to do a steering tonight.
How difficult was the header gasket?
Look at this floor.
Well, it was my first time ever putting a header gasket on.
That's off the showroom floor. It's good as
That's
new.
looking neat. Oh, you painted even more. That's awesome over here. Something in the car has to be another color than black.
Good. Yes. Agreed.
I'm gonna die
jams and
driving in the
everything.
summer.
There's 8,000 things I've done. Like the fuel lines are on the car, the transmission lines are done. Oh, by the way, I found the drain for the radiator.
You did?
Oh yeah, there's one on there, but it's buried. You can't even see it.
Oh, that's right, because we took.
Oh,
It's
that
on
was a
that
disaster.
end. It's on that end down there, but it's tucked up clear. You can't even see it unless you're laying under the car.
We
Feel
didn't.
it.
I feel it.
Yeah.
There's, yeah.
When I was doing the transmission lines the other day, I looked up and I was like, oh,
I'm sure every radiator has one. I mean, who would build one that doesn't have one?
I was surprised.
We should have just looked harder. It's okay.
We didn't film that, did we?
No, so we took off that bottom line, and Allison was kind of having trouble, so I get in there, I'm like, come on, we don't have time for this. Yank it off, and then I soaked us all.
It was a disaster.
Yeah. There was, I don't think Jeff saw it, so
No, he did. He was outside, and I
I
saw
think
like
he's trying to ignore it.
a side eye.
He's twitching a little bit.
Yes.
Because it was everywhere. I don't know if was there coolant? Or
Yes,
was it,
there was coolant. 'Cause
Yeah.
It was all over me. I smelled like coolant
It
for.
was not just water. It was coolant. That happened like 2 weeks ago, so we haven't filmed like at all.
No, we haven't. A lot of stuff has been going on that has just not been entertaining.
We
you
should
know?
show the plate. I don't know what you call this, but looks like Jeff has this mocked up. It's not tacked in yet, but it's mocked up.
I think did we show cutting it on a live? I know we showed making the template, but
I don't remember. What's that?
yeah. So that was on one of our lives. So since we're putting a fuel cell in the car,
I'm missing something. What else? Oh, we fixed the neutral safety switch.
yes.
Allison and I both did that. That was like 3 weeks ago, but that was quite the task for me and you.
That was.
We fixed it. So
And then the other night when I was here and you weren't, he was like, "All right, take the shifter apart again." I'm like, "Oh my, you're kidding me."
it's not that hard, but it's hard to do by yourself. If
That's
you're not.
exactly. We were struggling together, and I was like, "It's gonna take me all night to do that." And then, just as I finish taking off the cover, he's like, "All right, thank you." Just the cover? He's like, "Yeah, that's all you have to do." Biggest weight lifted off my chest.
What else has been done? I think we already showed these.
Yeah, we showed those already.
I think he added a couple
Boards.
bars.
Those are actually welded in now, though.
Jeff added 2 more bars back here. These 2 right here, vertical bars. So those will stiffen it up even more. You're gonna have a brick, dude. By the time he's done, this thing's gonna be stiff as a brick. I mean, I think it's gonna drive really straight and really good.
I don't know if we've showed this yet either.
Oh yeah, so
The fuel cell's down here on the ground, but
did you do this?
I did do it.
Oh, so she painted the console.
Which, as you could tell, there was hammer tone underneath it.
It's still hammer tone, but it's better than what it was.
Yeah.
Slowly getting rid of all the hammer tone. This has been the story of this car since we got it.
There's still a little, oops, opening from the wrong side. There's still a little reminiscence of it everywhere,
I
though.
should give you my old Optima battery. Or we have an extra one. Well, maybe he'd be interested in that. Ooh, new plug wires.
Oh no, I cleaned those.
Oh wow,
Right here.
nice.
I scrubbed every single one.
That's a fun job. That was
They
back
were
when
nasty.
I remember my first job when I started hanging out in the shop. It was cleaning plug wires.
They were nasty.
Very fun. It's very fun.
It was fine. It didn't take that long.
No, it's just.
We got the new steering wheel in.
Yeah. That's been there a while though, but again, we just haven't filmed in a long time. I don't think we're missing anything else. Just been more wiring.
Did the adapter come yet for the steering?
Nope.
Still struggling to get the steering done, but
Oh, so we're gonna talk.
just
about-
waiting on parts. That's what it is.
We had Pat Cronenbaker, I think is his last name. He's a local guy. We had him weld on these tabs for the fuel cell. Jeff put in these little brackets here that bolt down, and it goes right there in the spare tire spot, so that's gonna look pretty good.
I think that's about it for interesting stuff, at least.
Yeah, interesting stuff, if you want to call it interesting stuff.
So I guess now we're just gonna get the brake pads on and
whatever else Jeff tells us to do.
Yeah.
So we need to drop the rear end because obviously.
Whatever we do, don't drop those. So hold on there, and you gotta get it snug down pretty tight. That one seems really thin, but maybe they're all the same. I don't know.
25.
Okay, we'll just put 2 in. So take the caliper back off. Put 2 on each bolt between the caliper and the bracket.
This is
That's 3,000.
3,000. Well, now that I understand what's going on here, I would like to put it back on. Remeasure.
Now he understands.
So now understand what is happening here.
That's how we learn.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, now you start it.
Well, I was too busy helping you up.
Big question. How am I going to do this?
Oh yeah, I did the turn signals. I think I didn't do them right though. I think you had to redo them. Did you have to redo them?
I'm not going to. No, I honestly did not. No, all I did was loosen that. I just loosened that up a little bit. It was too tight. That's all.
Okay.
That's all I did.
I did the turn signals.
Nice with the wheel on.
Good job.
So apparently it's frowned upon to buy Jegs wheels. I'm about to get some for my stepside, but
Why?
it's frowned upon because everybody has them. I think they're the best looking cheap wheel on the market. Like the
like
spikes
mine.
especially. Everybody has spikes, but for good reason. They look the best. I mean, for the price. But I think I was also looking at Race Star wheels because they're like the only ones that have 17-inch wheels for my bolt pattern. Yeah, I always see people catching flack for buying Jegs wheels. I'm just like, just let people have their let the budget builds have their glory. For the broke people.
Sorry, what?
The broke people, let them have their glory.
Who knew it was going to... Now, is there any metal shavings down there?
In the car?
No, right here. So, oh yeah, I see some. Oh, I put the cap on. That was a spider, it's just a cricket. Keep it in there. And then, when you're done, spin that on.
Hold on. I'm gonna have to get on my back. There's literally no way. Hold on.
That goes so well.
Do you want to trade jobs? I mean, we can trade jobs.
Start feeding wires so that you don't hurry. Take on.
Wires everywhere.
I don't have my phone on me.
Dries. Very convenient.
I was gonna help.
Oxide solenoid. Look at that, it's right in there. Oh, I like that.
He likes it. It's good. It's good when Jeff likes it. United manual transmission racers. Jeff can't drive a stick.
He doesn't play into your funny business. What'd I just do to you?
I can't even explain it.
A while ago, I saw a TikTok explaining this theory that if you hand a man like anything, he'll take it without question and just start messing with it or whatever. Every once in a while, I do that to Tommy.
She just started handing me stuff, and she handed me these needle nose pliers, and I just started doing this, and I was like pinching myself. I didn't even know I was doing it.
Yeah, and then I had to explain to him that like 2 minutes prior, I handed him 2 other things.
She handed me this feeler gauge, and I was just sitting here like, I fiddled with it for like 5 minutes, and then she handed me these little balls.
You didn't notice.
Wheel bearing, or ball bearings.
He's like, why are you laughing so hard?
Men are just simple. We're simple creatures. We don't need much to be entertained. That's funny.
I do that to you like every couple months too, and you forget about it every time.